record. Right, so today, like I said, we are going to be working on head voice. So who remembers the differences between other voice we've talked about? We've talked about chest voice and head voice. So who, by a raise of hand, can tell me what is the difference between chest voice and head voice? This is something that we've already gone over. All right, I see Ian's hand up first. So Ian, go ahead and unmute yourself. I did say also Zoe's and saw some other hands. But Ian, go and unmute yourself. Tell me the difference between chest voice and head voice. I did see
one is from the chest and one's from the head.
So what does that mean in like kind of basic terms? Like for someone who's like, does that mean my mouth grows out of my chest or my head? Like, what does that mean?
It means it's coming from your chest to your voice or your head to your voice.
Okay. Kind of. I mean, it's your voice is never going to come from your chest or your head. But that's a good guess. So I did see Zoe's and Alessandra's hand up. Alessandra, can I see yours because I saw your hand go up second? What is the difference between chest voice and head voice?
Well, head voice is where your voice or your singing voice, it's where you sing like high, like in a very like high voice, like, and the chest voice is where you speak in like a low voice.
Very good. Yeah. So to make it very simple, your chest voice is your lower voice and your head voice is your higher voice. And like I said, thank you for raising your hands. I saw all of you guys, Zoe, Ian, and Alessandra. So yeah, just in simple terms, our chest voice is low, but it doesn't come from the chest voice. So let me clarify that real quick. Why we call it the chest voice is because you feel it vibrating in your chest, but your vocal cords are right here in your throat. Okay, so if you put your hands on your throat, quick.
Your voice comes from your throat.
Exactly, right. So so when you put your hands here and you just kind of talk, you'll feel it vibrating there. That's where your vocal cords are. Your vocal cords come together and vibrate, and that's what creates sound. That's when you're talking or singing, whatever it is. However, the lower it is, the more vibrations you're gonna feel, because when you're talking lower, it's vibrating like bigger waves. So you're gonna feel it more. So you can actually talk and put your hand on your chest. So everyone just go ahead and, one second, I'm gonna make sure everybody's microphones are muted. Okay, so everyone just put your hand on your chest and just say, hi, my name is, and then your name. Hi, my name is Miss Elizabeth. So that way you should feel vibration here in your chest when you kind of speak in your speaking voice. And if you don't feel it, you might just naturally talk a little bit higher. So try to talk a little bit lower in your voice and you'll feel that vibration here. Or you can literally just hold out a low note. And you'll feel it right here in the chest voice. The head voice, I do see your hand up, Zoe, I'll get to you in a second. The head voice, you won't feel vibrating in the chest. So the head voice, if you go, everyone just make a high sound, or woo, that too. You won't feel vibrations here in your chest. So if your hand is here, you won't feel it there anymore because the vibrations aren't as thick. So when you have thick vibrations, really big waves in the vocal cords, you'll feel it here. When you're singing high, they get really small, so you just don't feel them as much. Okay, so today we're gonna be focusing on that head voice, which is just our high voice. But yeah, the voice is still coming from here. It's just where you kind of feel the vibrations. Zoe, did you have a question about any of that?
Yes, when your throat is vibrating, sorry, that wasn't one question. What was it again?
Go ahead and think about it. Go ahead and remute yourself, and if you think about it again, you can ask a little bit later when I open up for questions.
Hold on, I have a different question. For her.
For who? It says all of the names in the little thing. Alessandra or Liberty?
The one that has a blue shirt.
Liberty? Okay. What's your question for Liberty?
Well, actually, it's not a question. Wait, hold on. Can I just say it?
Yes.
My dad has those type of ear thingies. Yeah, he had them at work.
They're called wireless headphones.
I know.
All right. So we are going to move on. Try to keep your questions or comments kind of focused on what we're talking about, but at the end I will let you guys talk or ask random questions and stuff, okay? All right, Zoe, go ahead and remute yourself. So like I said, today we are working on head voice, but let's first warm up our breathing. I've talked about breathing a million times. It's literally just because you need breath to make your vocal cords vibrate. And if you don't vibrate, you don't make any sounds. So let's just warm up our breath real quick. All right, so everyone go ahead and put your hands on your tummy. So waiting till I see everyone stand on their tummy. All right, Zoe, go ahead and put your hand on your tummy. Very good. All right, everyone, hand on the tummy. Okay, very good. So it should be right here. All right, we're gonna breathe in towards your hand, and you want to feel the hands go out when you breathe in. So breathe in, and you should feel the stomach go out. So I'll actually show you from the side as well. Oops. My piano bench just broke. Okay, I'm gonna set that over there. Guess I'm standing today. So if you put your hands on your side, you'll see that the stomach goes out when you breathe in. So everyone just put your hands on your stomach and let's just breathe in like 5 times. So ready, breathe in, feel the stomach go out, like you're filling yourself up with air. Breathe out. In 2, and out. In 3, relax. In 4, relax. Last one, everyone breathe in, feel your stomach go out, and hold it. So everyone should be holding their breath right now. I want you to keep holding it, don't let it go yet. All right, go ahead and release. Good job. So my chair just broke, so I'm standing now.
I'm sorry.
Okay. It broke yesterday, but we had like fixed it, I guess. But then I like moved it back and the little thing broke again, so it's okay.
I'm sorry.
I have some other chairs, that'll be fine. All right, so I just want to make sure everyone knows where the breathing is, so just make sure that you keep focused on here as we sing. So I want to talk about a few different registers. So we have 2 different voices, chest voice and head voice, which we've talked about before. Registers are something a little bit different. They're just different parts of your voices, so different ranges of your voices, and they have different vocal compression, which means they have, like, some of them are stronger and some of them are lighter. So we've talked about chest voice. It's just your vocal cords are vibrating against each other. It's low, it's in your lower voice. We've also talked about vocal fry. That's lower than your chest voice. We have head voice, which again is just a higher voice, and your vocal cords are coming together nice and easy. Another one that I like to talk about is falsetto. I'm sure a lot of people have heard the word falsetto, but they don't really know what it means. Falsetto means that you're kind of singing in your head voice, but inside your vocal cords coming together nicely, they kind of have a lot of air coming through them. So you get an airy head voice, okay? That's used a lot by Ariana Grande when she goes like, you know, you hear that like really airy head voice. That's called falsetto. So when we sing in our head voice, we don't really want to sound airy. It's going to sound nice and strong if we try to keep it nice and clear, okay? So that's what we're going to work on today, is specifically that head voice. You want to make sure that you don't accidentally switch into falsetto where it gets really, really airy, okay? And then above head voice, we have whistle tones. Those are really, really high notes, and we're going to see we're going to try to expand our range today. So not only are we going to talk about head voice, but we're going to see how high we can go. Okay, so it is really important as you do all of these exercises with me today that you only go as high as you feel comfortable. I don't want you to hurt yourself. If it starts getting kind of tight here at any moment, just stop. Okay, only go as high as you can control. It's really important that you keep breathing, and it's really important that you stay relaxed. I will give you tips on how to go higher, but don't go higher than you can control, and don't go any higher if it starts hurting. Okay, that's really important. We are going to try to get up into the beginning of whistle tones today, which, like I said, is higher than head voice, and it's on the thinnest part of your vocal cords. But we're just going to go as high as we can control. Okay, so that's really important. That's going to change for everybody. Your voice might cut out right when you go into head voice, which is fine, or your voice might just keep going, but it's really important that you feel what's going on. Okay, it should never hurt here. If it does, stop. So we're going to start with just identifying the head voice. So everyone go, woo! That's your head voice. When you see any kind of sound that's high, where it sounds like it's nice and smooth, that is the head voice. Woo! Do it again. Very good. Oh, I think Liberty dropped out. Okay. Hopefully she'll be back. Oh, yeah. Okay. Liberty's back. Cool. All right, so we're going to do our exercise. Now that everyone kind of knows where the head voice is. You want to try to open up the back of your mouth as much as possible. This is called the soft palate, so that you sound like an owl. So everyone go, woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! So you want to make sure you don't sound like an owl who doesn't know how to talk. You don't want to go, hoo-hoo! We're not a funny owl. So no hoo-hoos, but woo-hoo! So you'll feel the back of your mouth open up. It's a soft palate raising. Okay, so we're going to raise our soft palate as we sing in the head voice. We're going to literally just sing like an owl. So we're going to start right here. We're going to do hoo, 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 hoo. Okay, so you want to make sure you sound like an owl. You don't want to sound hoo, 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 hoo. Okay, we don't want a silly owl sound. All right, ready? Everyone go ahead and sing with me. Make sure you're breathing. I would love if actually all of you guys could stand. Because it's just you'll get a better singing voice when you stand. Your body's working better. You have good posture. You can breathe. So it's much easier. It's really hard if you're just sitting down and slouching over. Okay. So if you can, stand up. All right. Ready? So your goal is to sound like an owl. Can you make sure your microphone is muted, or else it'll kind of mute. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. All right, ready? Breathe. And really open that back of the mouth. You want to keep sounding like an owl. It's important that you also have breath, and if this starts getting too high for you and you feel something squeezing there, just stop and wait for us to come back down, okay? Still want to sound like an owl. One more. Nice job, you guys. Awesome. Cool. Who, just by raising hands, got that high? I'm just curious to see everyone's range. Liberty, next. Okay, cool. That's awesome. All right, so I think everyone kind of cut out a little bit earlier than that. We're gonna do some exercises that's gonna help you go a little higher as well, okay? So just kind of warming up our head voice. We're gonna do another exercise where we're also still trying to sound like an owl, but we're gonna do it on a G sound. So instead of woo-hoo, we're gonna do goo-goo. So everyone say G, it's like G-O-O, goo, but we're saying it like an owl. So go goo-goo. Like the owl wants to talk about goo. Ready? So we're gonna do goo, 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 goo. Okay, but it has to sound like an owl. You don't want goo, 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 goo. Okay, we're specifically looking at that head voice. Breathe. Goo, 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 goo. Make sure you sing along with me. Goo, 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 goo. 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 Very good. So everyone should feel pretty comfortable here still. So make sure that if you don't, you're still breathing, right? You're breathing in and you're opening the back of the mouth. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, goo, One more. If you had to cut out, come back down, come back in as we go down. One more. All right. How's everyone feeling? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if everything feels good. If you have any questions, you can hit that raise hand button. Cool. I see Ian's thumbs up. See Zoe's thumbs up. I saw Liberty give me an actual thumbs up. And Alessandra, your video is actually off right now. All right. Good job, you guys. And I will open it up for questions and all that stuff at the end, like I always do. So if you have any questions or you're struggling with anything, just keep that in mind so that you can ask questions at the end. All right. Now we're going to go to one that's going to help us kind of expand our range. So if you find that your high notes aren't going as high, you can use this exercise and this will help, okay? So one thing is if it gets kind of high and it feels kind of uncomfortable, I want you to bend at the waist like that, or the hips, I guess. You're going to bend down on that high note that feels weird. So we're going to be doing whoop, 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 whoop. So on that high note, or as you sing it, you can bend down and that'll actually make it easier for you to sing. Whoop, 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 whoop. And so that kind of just helps our body think like our voice, our high note is actually down rather than up. And when we trick our body into thinking that it's down, the body feels like it's easier. Okay. And I see your hand went up. Also, you're upside down. Go ahead. So Alessandra's, your video keeps going off.
And how did you turn upside down?
Hold on.
Did you have a question, Ian?
So what are we supposed to say?
So for this one, it'll be whoop. So kind of like whoop whoop. So it's like W-H-O-O-P. Whoop. Okay. So it starts with a W, ends with a P. Whoop. Okay. So it'll sound like this. Whoop 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 whoop. Okay. But like I said, if it goes too high or if it starts feeling kind of hard, I want you to bend at the waist, and this is going to help you get even higher. Okay. So that's why it's also important to be standing. Okay. If you guys can, try to keep your video on the whole lesson. That way I can see what's going on. Okay, ready? Sing together. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. You know, kind of see that I'm bending down to help. Whoop, 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 whoop. 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 Make sure you're breathing. Whoop, 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 whoop. So as it goes higher, it gets a little higher up here, but if you're bending down, it should kind of help you get a little further. Ready? Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're gonna see higher and go. Whoop, 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 whoop. Two more. Whoop, 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 whoop. Last one. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nice job, you guys. That was a high C for a soprano. Nice job. That was a C6. Who got up all the way to that note? I saw Zoe singing the whole time. Ian, nice. Liberty and Alessandra, I actually don't see you guys on here anywhere. Your videos are muted and off. So, okay, I see Liberty again. Liberty, were you able to get all the way up to that top note? Yeah, nice. Very good. Cool. All right, we're gonna do another one. After we get through all of this last exercise, I'll take everyone's questions on all this, okay? So our next one that we're gonna do is cuckoo, like a cuckoo clock. So cuckoo, okay? And we're just gonna go down. We're gonna go cuckoo, cuckoo. So just coo, like C-O-O, cuckoo, cuckoo, like a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay, so again, at that top note, I want you to bend down. That's our highest note, is the first note we sing. We're gonna do cuckoo, cuckoo. Okay, so I want you to bend down, and I want you to think like you're like throwing your first note onto the ground from your head, like coo, 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 coo. And it's gonna actually help you get a little bit higher.
It technically actually helps me if I go higher instead of lower. Lower makes me go like a lower type of voice.
Well, you don't want to think like you're actually singing low. You don't want to go coo, 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 but like more of thinking like your head voice, like you're thinking from your head and you're just kind of like throwing it down to the ground. So that way it can, you're pretty much just trying to trick your brain into thinking that high notes aren't that high. So it kind of helps to think like your high notes are going down, just to kind of help us get a little bit higher. It doesn't help everyone, and everyone thinks a little bit different. So if it doesn't help you, that's totally fine. A lot of people just thinking down does help. So either you're bending at your waist and also kind of relaxing the body as you do that does help. Or if just thinking open helps you, that's totally fine too. If you just think, that can help as well. So whatever you find helps you reach those high notes without any strain here, okay? All right, let's go ahead and try it, everyone together. So if you need to, bend at that top note just to help you get a little higher. Breathe. Kind of like you're throwing that top note. So this is high C. If you can go past this, this is going to go into kind of whistle tones. If you can, awesome. If you can't, don't worry about it. We'll go ahead and try. Let's see how high we can go. Ready? Let's do that one again. One more. So that is a really high note. That is an E flat 6. That is whistle tones are actually about that E6. Is that whistle tones right there. So that gets the vocal cords very, very thin. Who was able to hit that note? Liberty, nice. Ian, no. I understand. Zoe, cool. Nice job. Alessandra, were you able to get to that top note? Or close to it?
Sorry, it was a bit glitchy. What did he say?
Oh, I said, were you able to get up to that top note that we did? Or close to it?
A bit. I kind of did.
Nice. Very good. So yeah, so these exercises, the whoop and the cuckoo, any kind of sound that kind of makes you sound like an owl doing different sounds, that's going to help you get a little bit farther with your voice, okay? So Ian said, oh my. These are really high notes. So if you want to work on expanding your range, getting really high, these are really good exercises for you. The main thing is that you breathe. Always have to breathe. And you'll feel that here. And then just any kind of woo kind of sound, whether it's the cuckoo or the whoop or the hoo-hoo, cuckoo. All of those, you know, are the same sound like an owl, and that's because our soft palate, back of our mouth, is raising. And that gives us that open sound for our high notes. So if you want to expand your range using any of these exercises, you can always pull up this video again on Facebook or YouTube and practice these exercises with me again. And this will help expand your range. So if you aren't getting all the way up there, you can keep doing these exercises, work on your breathing, work on opening the back of your mouth, getting that owl sound, and you'll find that you keep getting higher and higher, okay? All right, so are there any questions about anything we just did? Is there any comments? Did anyone struggle with it? Did anyone feel pain? Any kind of things about any of the exercises we just did? We did the whoop, we did the goop, we did the whoop, we did the cuckoo. So anything anybody has to say about any of that? Ian?
When you're doing the very, very high pitch, it hurt my ears.
That's a good comment, actually, because yes, as you get high, especially with exercises, sometimes it gets so high that it will hurt people's ears. So just because you can hit it doesn't mean you always want to do it in this very kind of weird way that we're doing. Right now we're exercising the voice. But yes, sometimes when you go too high, it gets kind of like whistly and it kind of starts being a little too much for people. So that's usually why we don't sing that high. However, as you learn how to control your voice a little bit more, you can kind of round it out, make it not sound as aggressive. You can also kind of pull it back and all that other stuff. So, but yeah, do be aware when you sing really high, it actually can hurt people's ears. So you want to kind of learn how to control the volume later on. But that is a good comment because it can get kind of intense. Also, it is Zoom, so I know that it's kind of aggressive on there as well. Is there any other comments, questions, concerns? Anybody Anybody feel any kind of pain or tension in their throat while they were singing that? Some people just not able to sing that sound at all. Everyone's good. Zoe or Liberty, are you raising your hand? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It kind of like, it made me feel dizzy when I went up.
Okay, yeah, that's a good comment too, because that is actually something that happens to a lot of people. So I'm glad you brought it up. If you're getting lightheaded, that means that most likely you are getting more air than you're used to. So that's kind of a good thing because that means you're breathing more. Okay, so that means you're actually taking in the breaths before you sing. So if you are breathing every single time and then using that breath, right, and then you're releasing and breathing in, there's just a lot of airflow going to the brain. And that's a little more, those are deeper breaths than you're used to taking normally. Usually we don't really take big breaths and we don't really hold out the note very long when we talk. So we're not usually used to getting that much airflow. So that's normal. Don't be afraid of it. If it happens like a lot, we're like, I'm gonna pass out, like just pause and like relax. But it's normal. And the more you do breathing exercises, such as the one I did in the beginning, and you've seen many of the breathing exercises I've talked about, as you do more and more of those, it gets more comfortable and your body gets more used to having that much oxygen and holding it longer. Does that make sense? So yeah, that is normal. Also, one thing you can do to kind of reduce that a little bit is make sure when you breathe in that once you sing, you still have a lot of air left over. You don't have to like release all of it and then breathe back in. You can use that same air. You don't have to release it every single time. That might help as well. Ian, I see the little hand emoji up. Was that from before, or is that a question? Question. Okay, go ahead.
Next time, can we please not go that high pitch? And how do you do that stuff? How are you going so high?
So like I said, you definitely don't have to go as high as we're going, right? So some people are going to have higher ranges, which is why I go that high in general. But yes, if it is a lot for your headphones, just take it out. I tend to go up to that range every so often to just kind of push people who can go that high. How do you do it? You work on these exercises and you just start lower. So you start with that like middle range, and getting used to that and only going as high as you can. And then the more you're able to keep it comfortable, so you don't want to tense up. That's really the main part. You want to make sure you breathe and you want to make sure it stays relaxed. It feels very easy. Only go as high as you can. And when you work out that section of your voice where it's comfortable for you, that will get stronger and you'll be able to eventually go higher in general. So how I do that, it's just I've done it for a long time. And so my range has expanded over time, but it definitely didn't start at that high. So if your voice, obviously, you are a boy and most of the time girls can go higher than boys. However, I know your voice and you actually can sing pretty high. So I would just work on your head voice where yours is at and don't go farther than you need to. So you can do the exercises like whoop, 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 or cuckoo, or hoo, or any of those kind of things. Just do it where you're comfortable. As you get used to it, it will naturally expand. It's just something that takes time. It's not going to happen in an hour lesson. It's not even going to happen in a month. It takes years to expand it, which is why people commit their entire lives to singing, such as myself. However, you will see progress as soon as you start doing these things, and you'll feel like it's easier and you'll find yourself going higher or lower, whatever your goals are, progressively. Does that answer your question? So if you can't do it now, keep practicing these things that we did today and you will be able to eventually if you commit to it, just like anything else. Does that make sense? Right. So just like anything else, if you're working out and you're trying to get strong, right? I'm sure you guys know if you go to the gym or like you pick up weights like once, right? Or in PE, they make you do like 10 push-ups, right? You're probably gonna guess that if you do 10 push-ups once, you're probably not gonna be super strong, right? You have to do push-ups or workout or whatever you do every single day. And you have to keep getting kind of harder and harder so that your muscles grow and grow. The voice, no different. It's also, we're working with muscles in our body. So you have to keep doing it over and over again for it to get stronger, okay? That's a good question because a lot of people want to know, like, I can't do that. How do I do that? Just do what's comfortable. It'll strengthen itself. Any other questions? These are awesome questions, you guys. Or comments? Zoe, Liberty, Ian, Alessandra, any questions? No, everyone looks good. Zoe's showing me her eyeball. Okay.
That's Zoe.
All right, let's go ahead and sing a little bit of a song today. We're kind of coming up at the end of the class, but we'll do a little bit of a song. So just by raising hands, I'm just curious, who knows the song My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music? It's raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Liberty? Liberty knows it. She looks excited about it. Alessandra, do you know it?
No.
No? Okay. It's okay. We're going to learn it for everybody who doesn't know it. I'm glad Liberty knows that. Okay. So I will sing it first, and then I want you guys to sing it back. This is kind of going to help us with our head voice. It is generally a little bit higher, but it's not super high, don't worry. It's just right in that head voice area. So we're going to sing, raindrops on roses. So I'll sing that section first, and then we'll all do it together. Ready? Raindrops on roses. Sing with me. Raindrops on roses. Okay, the next part is, and whiskers on kittens. So let's sing that all together.
Whiskers on
Whiskers on kittens. Okay. Oh, Zoe, make sure your microphone is still muted.
Oh, okay.
I know it's kind of weird because I can't hear you guys, but if your microphone's not muted while we all try to sing together, it'll just start muting all of us and nobody will hear anybody, or it'll sing chaotic because they don't line up at the same exact time. So I'll sing and then we'll hear you like a second later. So that's why unfortunately it has to be muted, but I will call on people. Okay, so we have raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Let's try the whole sentence. Ready? Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. So just because we're singing a song, don't forget about all your techniques. So make sure you're still standing up straight or sitting up straight. Try not to be hunched over. And then also make sure you're still breathing. Okay, our next line. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. So it's bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Ready? Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Also, if you've watched any of my other classes, you'll know that opening your mouth is a really big thing too, so make sure you open your mouth. Okay, our next line. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. So the words are brown paper packages tied up with strings. Ready? All together. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. Our last line. These are a few of my favorite things. Sing it all together. Ready? These are a few of my favorite things. Nice job, you guys. Let's see all of you singing. So let's try that one more time, okay? Let me actually bring up the lyrics on the phone or on the screen for you guys. So I'm going to share the screen with you in a second. Let me bring up the lyrics. Lyrics to, sorry, just give me 1 second. Lyrics to my favorite things. Okay, now I can share it with you guys. Share screen, start now. Okay, so you'll see my phone background, and then here's the lyrics. Okay, so we're just doing that first little section right there, raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. So we're gonna do that whole paragraph right there all together, okay? So just try your best to follow along with me. Ready? So everyone sing it together. Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Breathe. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Breathe. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. Breathe. These are a few of my favorite things. Okay, let's actually try the next section as well, cream colored ponies. It sounds exactly the same.
I know this song.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, what was that? Someone just talked? Okay. Let's go ahead and try the next section as well, cream colored ponies. And it's gonna sound exactly the same. So let's just see if we can all sing it together, okay? If you're having issues singing the actual words, you can always go to lip trills, which is where you vibrate your lips together. So if you don't want to sing the words, you're kind of getting confused by the words, you can always sing it on lip trills. Okay, so you can always do that as well. So let's go ahead and sing Cream Colored Ponies. Ready? Cream colored ponies and crisp apple strudels. Breathe. Doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles. Breathe. Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings. These are a few of my favorite things. Nice job, you guys. So yeah, this is all in our head voice. Right? This is in the,
I thought you said there's going to be no high pitches.
Oh, I said it wasn't going to be super high, but it is all in head voice. Today, we are all focused on head voice. So it's not really, really high, but it is right in that head voice area. Okay? So just make sure that you're kind of trying to get that owl-like feeling when you're singing these. That way you have this nice head voice. So it's not super high, but yes, it is in the head voice. So I actually want a volunteer to sing that first one, the raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Who would like to volunteer? I actually can't see you guys right now on the screen. So if you would like to volunteer, just unmute yourself and say, I'll sing it.
I'll sing it.
Awesome. Who is that? Is that Zoe?
Yeah.
Awesome. So can you sing raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens?
Yeah, I can sing it.
All right, go ahead.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Nice. Go ahead and try the next part. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens.
Brown coppered kittens and warm mittens.
You done? Next line is brown paper packages tied up with strings.
Brown paper packages tied up with strings. Those are a few of my favorite things.
Nice job. Very good. Everyone give her a round of applause. Good job for being so brave. Good job. That sounded awesome. And yeah, that was in the head voice.
Thank
Very good.
you.
Anyone else would like to try? Liberty, Alessandra, Ian.
I'll do it.
You'll do it. Who is that?
Liberty.
All right, go for it, Liberty.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Nice. That was awesome. Good job. Everyone give her a round of applause. Nice job. I know you know the song too, so the melody sounded perfect. Nice job. Very good. Ian, do you want to try it?
I'll try it. Sure.
Awesome.
Raindrops on Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens. Brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Yeah, and of course it's going to sound a little bit different in your voice, right? Because that is, like I said, it's actually right in the middle of the voice, weirdly enough. It's a little bit high for the chest voice, but it's actually a little bit low for the head voice. So I'm kind of purposely putting it into my head voice. Instead of raindrops on roses, I'm doing raindrops on roses. I'm kind of purposely putting it in my head voice. Real quick, Ian, just I want to use you for an example real quick, because you're actually saying that a little bit more in the chest voice. Can I hear you try to put it into head voice? Raindrops on roses. So kind of purposely make it a little bit softer.
I don't think I can do it.
I just try to make it sound like that, like owl-like sound. Raindrops on roses. So even just try that one sentence. Raindrops on roses.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Right, yeah, so literally just making it a little bit softer will help make that top note, raindrops, instead of raindrop, where you're kind of pushing at it. So even just a little bit of like softening it will bring it a little closer to the head voice, if that makes sense. So just making it a little bit softer will naturally make it a little easier to sing as it goes closer to the head voice. Nice job. All right, and then Alessandro, did you want to give it a try? Are you there? Okay. I don't hear anybody, so I'm gonna come back. All right, cool. Oh, Alessandra, did you want to give it a try? I wasn't looking at you.
She already did.
Oh, you did already. That's right. Did someone not go, or did everyone already go? Everyone. Okay, that's just me.
We
I'm just
already
crazy.
did.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry that I'm just crazy, you guys. All right, good job. So I know that this is actually a kind of a hard concept, the head voice, because it is higher and it is a little bit harder to reach. But if you can kind of focus on the owl-like sound, even singing like sing the whole song like an owl, it'll help you kind of put it into a more of a head voice rather than trying to bring your chest voice, that stronger voice, all the way up there. So that way you can have that nice open head voice. Okay, and you can actually even put it maybe even a little higher if you want to make sure that it's all in your head voice. So does anyone have any questions about anything that we covered today? So that can be the song itself, the owl sound that I keep referring to, the whoos, the goos, the whoops, the cuckoos, all that weird stuff, all of the registers. Any questions about anything that we did today? I do see Liberty's hand up. Was that from earlier, or is that just now? Is that from earlier? Yeah, okay. All right. Does anyone have any questions, concerns, comments? No? All right. Good job, you guys. That was awesome. Head voice, like I said, is a little harder, and expanding the range definitely takes time. But if you do these exercises, if you work on your breathing, if you try to sing like an owl through any song, it will help you get that voice stronger. All right.
Can I try to do it again?
I'm sorry,
Can
what?
I just say, can I try to sing it again, but just raindrops on kittens, like that?
Sure, yeah, if you wanted to try it in head voice, go for it. So yeah, go ahead and do the raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Go ahead.
Raindrops on kittens, raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
No, that was perfect. Good job. Yeah, and that was in your head voice and everything. Nice job. Very good. So does anyone else have any questions or something they wanted to go over before the class was over? Nope. Awesome. Good job, you guys. That was a great class today. So we are officially done. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Question.